Okay, no, but can we talk about how bad this whole Lizzo thing is?
Being sued for being the exact opposite person that she claims to be in her music.
People who aren't even affiliated with the lawsuit are coming forward and saying that what she's being accused of is true.
Shocked that she's getting sued for being fatphobic, considering her messaging is so body positive.
During a rehearsal, she was not allowed to go to the bathroom, so she had to pee herself.
Lizzo has been exposed by her own team. She is being accused of body shaming dancers, forcing them to work 12 hours a day while peeing their own pants. And Lizzo has also been accused of forcing them into inappropriate situations. Has Lizzo been faking her kind and body positive persona all along? Let's get into it. It is scary what's going on with Lizzo because she's exactly the type of celebrity who has been open and presenting herself as a kind person, but behind closed doors, they are a monster. It's giving me Ellen DeGeneres energy. And I'm glad she's being called out for it because her dancers have accused her of harassment and weight shaming. I mean, isn't she like Lizzo, the person who pushes this whole body positivity movement? Why is she weight shaming anyone? Now let's get into how we found out about this, because it's getting legal. Her tour dancers have actually filed a lawsuit for a hostile work environment through racial and religious harassment. The dancers also allege that Lizzo, known as an advocate for body positivity and self-love, criticized a dancer's recent weight gain and later berated, then fired that dancer for recording a meeting. Ooh, so these dancers were preparing to expose her. According to this lawsuit, Lizzo allegedly pressured one dancer to touch a performer at a club in Amsterdam. Lizzo also subjected several dancers to an excruciating 12-hour audition after making false accusations that they drank while working. Now, I understand being a tough boss. I mean, this is your reputation, but it sounds like she's acting like a dictator. Quote, in professional dance, a dancer's weight gain is often seen as that dancer getting lazy or worse off as a performer. Lizzo and Miss Scott's questions about Miss Davis's commitment to the tour, one of these dancers, were thinly veiled in concerns about her weight gain. Though never explicitly stated, the questions gave Miss Davis the impression that she needed to explain her weight gain and disclose intimate personal details about her life in order to keep her job. But it doesn't seem like this dancer could really say anything, because later on they were let go. The plaintiffs also allege that Lizzo and the production company team did not pay them fairly while on parts of Lizzo's European tour. They say that they were offered only 25% of their weekly pay as retainer during that time, not performing on the tour. They also claim that Lizzo and the company preferred them not to take on other jobs during these breaks.
The thing about Lizzo being sued for being the exact opposite person that she claims to be in her music is that her followers aren't gonna Chris Brown it. You know what I mean? Lizzo stans are not going to separate the art from the artist. While I'm shocked that she's getting sued for being fatphobic, considering her messaging is so body positive, part of me isn't that shocked given what I know about the dance industry. I'm a dancer. I used to live in LA and be in the rooms with people who then were later exposed to be dancers type shit. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is so ingrained in professional dance culture, and nobody says anything because you're afraid of your reputation or your job. And I think while we expect that to happen more when men are in charge and more heavily in the room, I think it's heartbreaking to see how deceptive somebody can be in their messaging while also still portraying the same hush-hush culture that is really ingrained in dance life.
It's still crazy to think that we're talking about Lizzo, Miss Positivity Queen, because this doesn't seem very positive at all. The suit also alleges that Lizzo's dance captain, Charlene, pushed her Christian beliefs upon other performers and degraded those who had sex before marriage. It also sounds like Charlene would share lewd sexual fantasies and discussing one performer's virginity. Now, it's not clear if Lizzo knew that Charlene was acting in this way, but she's being thrown in as well. One dancer claims that she quit Lizzo's tour because of this religious aspect, that it was so overwhelming that she felt like she was being pushed in a direction that she did not consent to while working as a dancer on Lizzo's tour.
Okay, y'all, so this is Charlene Quigley, and she is deeply connected to that lawsuit with Lizzo. Now, this is Charlene's Twitter, and she is the captain of Lizzo's dance team on tour. Now, the lawsuit alleges that Lizzo's dance captain, Miss Charlene, was proselytizing to the other performers. And to proselytize means to convert or to convince. Now, on her TikTok, she says, "I love Jesus, family, friends, dancing, hashtag Christian TikTok." And then kind of like the same fervor all over her Twitter, dancing the dream, fearless, loving God more than anything. But if you get deep down into her tweets, she is like hardcore Christian. Nothing wrong with that, but it becomes a big problem when you are trying to proselytize or convert people to Christianity when you're supposed to be really just dancing. So the performers who are suing Lizzo and this dance captain are basically saying that she was proselytizing to them, and then she was basically shaming them for having premarital, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, while she was doing that, here's the kicker. She was also sharing lewd fantasies, stimulating and publicly discussing the of one of the plaintiffs. So not only is Miss Charlene trying to convert people to Jesus, she's also a big fat pervert. Then had the nerve to post some videos like this talking about going on dates with non-believers. Girl! And then tweets like this. In this tweet here, she had said, "A lot of people call truth a lie because they enjoy the life of living in their flesh." She said they call it fun and being true to themselves. The truth is a lot more than that. It's purpose. And purpose goes outside of yourself. I choose to live in Christ. How about you, Charlene? Come to the front. Because according to them dancers, allegedly, you out here calling them everything but a child of God, honey.
This lawsuit also claims that Lizzo as a boss was just way too much, trying to throw out accusations that her, dancers were drinking, that they were drunk on the job, just really projecting a lot of things onto them and getting way too personal for someone who's supposed to be in a professional setting. I mean, these people are being accused of being drunk and they have to defend themselves against their boss.
Okay, no, but can we talk about how bad this whole Lizzo thing is? Because this is bad, y'all. I mean, like, really bad. Because while these are allegations at the moment, people who aren't even affiliated with the lawsuit are coming forward and saying that what she's being accused of is true. Not to mention the details of the allegations are so specific. It's like, you gotta be one creative person to just up and lie like that in that particular way. And my thing is, even though these are allegations, I've yet to see somebody on her team come forward and be straight up appalled at said allegations. I've yet to see anyone come forward and say, "I cannot believe y'all would accuse her of this. Y'all know this is not true. What are y'all doing?" I've yet to see any kind of reaction like that. So far, everyone that's come forward has doubled down on the initial allegations. Y'all, this is bad. This situation is almost beyond repair. It can have permanent damage, I fear.
A lot of people are speaking out against Lizzo, and it's changing how the world looks at her. I mean, one of her dancers claims that during this excruciating 12-hour rehearsal where they had to prove themselves that they're not drunks to Lizzo, one dancer actually soiled her pants because she was way too fearful to go to the bathroom and lose her job.
During a rehearsal, she was not allowed to go to the bathroom, so she had to pee herself in a see-through dress. Lizzo's ex-creative director spoke out today in favor of the dancers who are pressing the lawsuit, and so did another dancer. How is this so dark-sided?
I understand being in the music industry is different than working a corporate job. It just is, but there are some boundaries you do not cross. For example, inviting cast members to take turns touching the new performers, catching dildos launched from the performers' private parts, and eating bananas, I guess trying to make it seem like they're doing something more. Lizzo allegedly pressured Davis to touch the breasts of one performer and begin goading her when she refused. And there's actually a lot more when it comes to this banana situation. It's literally made headlines. Lizzo showed interest in banana show, now being sued over it. Here are actually some clips from these moments, and it's really bizarre to see the context in which she's been violating or making people feel uncomfortable in. Lizzo kept an eye on the famed banana show in Amsterdam for years, sharing her desires way before being sued for allegedly pressuring backup dancers to get in on the act. Here's the deal. Lizzo talked about wanting to go to this specific live sex show in Amsterdam, and there's actually footage of her talking about this in 2019. So when she did have the opportunity to go, she brought her dancers, her team, and really pushed them to play along and to involve themselves. And you either like sex shows and parties or those things, or you don't, and you can't really force anyone to get into that. Especially, like, what if these people have partners at home and they want to be like a committed good partner? It's actually funny, the radio host tells Lizzo that she's looking for this place called Banana Bar, a venue that's now mentioned several times in this lawsuit.
It was really, they kissed. They kissed after, I'm not gonna say what she did. But I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the Which one is that?
It's a banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
wear
they
the
have the
banana
banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go,
Yes. And
That's what I wanna do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My poos, potassium.
Lizzo reveals her love for live shows in Amsterdam, and she asks the host about the banana show where patrons eat bananas out of the performers' V's. Ew. Lizzo is quoted saying, "That's what I want to do. I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My potassium." Ew.
So not only was Lizzo pressuring her dancers to stick bananas in their vaginas, have other people eat out of them, as well as pressure other dancers to touch their boobs, and, pressuring security guards to take off their clothes. Her dancers wanted to quit. She would get security to throw them in a room and lock them in there, while she would have people forcibly delete things off of other people's phone to delete any evidence.
There are also other dancers who claim that there's some race involved in here as well. One of these dancers, whose last name is Rodriguez, claims that they are a person who's not black, one of the few that are part of the dance crew, and that they were treated differently. And I don't know if they're trying to insinuate that they were paid less, but there needs to be a little bit more detail here. These three dancers are brave for coming forward, and because they have, now other people from Lizzo's path want to chime in and share their stories.
Just hours after singer Lizzo was sued by 3 of her former backup dancers accusing her of harassment and creating a hostile work environment, 2 more women have come forward with similar claims. Director Sophia Nahil Allison and dancer Courtney Hollenquist. Hollenquist was a former backup dancer for the singer who took to her Instagram story to share an NBC News headline about the lawsuit, before also giving a big shout out to the dancers for bringing Lizzo's behavior to light. While director Sophia Nahil Allison added she walked away from directing a documentary about Lizzo after just 2 weeks of work, adding she was treated with such disrespect by her. Lizzo is specifically accused of disability discrimination, creating a hostile work environment, sexual harassment, and failing to stop said issues. Her touring company, Big Girl Big Touring Inc., is also named as a defendant.
Now let's talk about this filmmaker named Sophia. She was quoted saying, "Lizzo creates an extremely toxic and hostile working environment and undermines the work, labor, and authority of other black and brown women in the process." Sophia was also quoted saying that she, Lizzo, is a narcissistic bully and has built her brand off of lies. "I was excited to support and protect a black woman through the documentary process, but quickly learned her image and her message were curated and fake." So actually, this woman, Sophia, was going to do a documentary on Lizzo. There are so many, celebrities who do little documentaries for Netflix and Hulu and all that. We've seen Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato. Lizzo was going to have one, but then this documentary filmmaker came to her and realized who she was and quickly backed out because she saw that Lizzo was exactly the opposite of what she's been trying to make herself seem like. There are also other people who are speaking out against Lizzo, like an activist named Ola, I believe, recounts her experience at a Lizzo concert in 2017 where Lizzo and her team invited a man on stage after witnessing him trample her while she was sitting in her wheelchair. She wrote, "Tragic. I defended Lizzo from racism, misogyny, and fat phobia in the past. I hesitated to discuss my personal experience with her and her team at a concert. I was trampled by a man in my wheelchair at her DC show in 2017. They saw it and brought him on stage with her anyways." So it seems like Lizzo's getting canceled, and actually Kendall Ray on Twitter wrote, "Maybe we will get a flute apology from Lizzo like we got a song from Colleen Ballinger." Now it seems like other celebrities are now taking steps to disconnect themselves from Lizzo. Beyonce skips out on Lizzo's name while performing the Break My Soul remix. And I feel like if Beyonce has now erased you from the picture, then you are done, because she doesn't want to be wrapped up in this kind of messy behavior. Some of the lyrics read a few different names like Betty Davis, Lange Knowles. It looks like Lizzo was listed, but now she's removed Lizzo and actually says Badu a few extra times in replacement. While the omission of Lizzo's name is notable following the high-profile lawsuit, it is possible that Beyonce chose to repeat Erykah Badu's name after the Tyrone performer seemed to claim that she had copied her style. Not entirely sure. I feel like it's the Lizzo part. Beyonce's smart. She knows what she's doing. I'm really disappointed in Lizzo because she does not practice what she preaches. And it kind of scares me because she seems like a celebrity who's been super open, super vulnerable. A lot of her fans on Instagram feel like they really know who she is, and they don't. she's not this person she's been playing to be. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.